Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjawan coming to you from the Red Corner Chat. This evening, I get to speak to the inspiring Jan Grobler, who is in Namibia, and we are going to have an awesome chat. Jan Grobler is a life and transformation coach. He believes that every human life has genius with which to gift this world, and he enjoys the discovery of his client's own unique potential. He believes that genius is underpinned by self-esteem and uses concept to help his clients to find their unique self, accept themselves, and then transforms their results to its highest potential. He's also a published author, and we're going to get to know who Jan Grobler is. Hello, Jan. How are you?
Hi, Shamila. I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's only a pleasure. So, I just read your bio and you've been juggling so many hats and you do so much. But before we go into the real conversation, do you maybe want to tell us in a nutshell who Jan Grobler is?
Well, that's a very interesting question to ask. If you look at my website, you'll see my purpose, and my purpose is a summary of who I am. And so I believe in the human life. I believe that what breathes us, and who breathes us, makes us such very special beings. And that's been my journey in life, to discover that part of myself. And today I'm just passionate. I'm passionate about the human life. I'm passionate about transformation. I'm passionate about healing. I love doing it. I get the greatest kick out of helping people, out of seeing them, making a shift in their consciousness. That's me. That's me. I love what I do every single day. So that's me. I'm just a lover of mankind, and I so believe in the potential in every single person out there.
So much of passion, Jan. Speaking of loving what you do and having a passion for what you do as well, and it all comes from within, and you emit this joy of healing. But talking about COVID-19 that has affected everybody globally, how did it have an impact on your life?
Shamila, right in the beginning, I had a little bit of a crucifixion and a resurrection at the time in my life. There was a 3-4 day period that in April that was very tough for me, and fear consumed me from all levels. And then I realized that, when we're in fear, we can't create, we're just not able to create consciously. We go into neurosis, we're not in our power, and I had to return myself to love. And so I remember how the resurrection happened. I woke up one morning and said, enough of this. I'm going to test the scripture in 2 Timothy in the Christian Bible that says, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And I did psyche on myself, and the balance, we call it the balance, it's like an affirmation, but you put it directly into the subconscious mind, was I'm fearless and excited about my future. And I had a friend in South Africa that helped me with that. And amazingly, from that moment, I could actually see how all the dots connected. And COVID, when you're not in fear, your brain cannot handle the fear. And so when you're not in fear, you obviously in the opposing, frequency of love. And when you're in that love zone, you get so creative. And I just went into a deep level of trust, and my life expanded. Literally, my business expanded. I got so busy. And I'm so grateful for it. I had the most wonderful year. 2020 was indeed, to me, a year of blessing upon blessing upon blessing. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. I can say the same. A lot of people has just wished that, 2020 didn't exist, or just wiping it out completely. But I believe, it's what you make of it. And it was obviously God's plan for each and everybody. So for me, it was a good year as well, blessed in so many ways. Yes, we do have our ups and downs, and we must just be thankful and grateful for what we have. And I can see that coming from you as well. So well done.
Yeah, and, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you had a good year as well. Sorry for rudely interrupting you, but I get these downloads that I need to say. And something that just came to me now is that, you know, people wish it was over rather than going into the moment and saying, what is this teaching me? How is this raising me to a new level of thinking, to a new level of existence, to, you know, to a level of just not just existing, but to consciously create, you know. And that is beautiful. COVID came into my life to elevate me into another level of awareness of how precious life is, and how I am so powerful when I'm in love and in the moment, and I don't worry about the future. You know, I don't use my imagination for defeat, you know, but actually for the greater good, and just to laugh. That's my highest currency always. It's always been that. And, you know, this year just yielded that to me in such a big way.
Jan, do you have healing powers as well?
I do. My client is very aware of it. I really do. I always say to people, I get downloads and downloads. You know, my book was the same. You know, when I set the tone for the book and I decided on, you know, what are the chapters about? What do I want to convey to the reader? You know, I was writing chapters, and literally within 3 months, I wrote this book, the first draft of it. Because when I sat down, the messages just came, and I consciously can hear, you know, and follow the voice of spirit. I get these downloads. It's the most amazing place to live in, and I can help clients from that perspective, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Many of my clients, you know, say it's a very special gift, and I realize it, and I embrace it with everything in me. You know, if you know my story, if you read chapter 1, you'll be shocked silly. You know, it's titled The Living Death, and I lived that way for 42 years. I mean, it was a terrible life that I lived, and I'm not proud of that. But I always knew there's something bigger that will come through me, and you know, sometimes I couldn't believe it, and sometimes I could. And when it eventually came, I just love my life. I just love it.
Wow. So we're talking about your signature book that you released recently, Get the Hell Out of Your Own Way, Tips and Tools to Heal Your Past and Create a Life You Love. What prompted this book, and what prompted this title?
Shamila, I realized that, you know, from the years of working with clients, that it's the exact same path. It's like a trend that people get to their healing space. And I realized that it's all about the first big thing is to accept yourself at a very deep subconscious level, you know, and to really know that you're good enough, and that you're worthy, and that you can start to love yourself unconditionally. And that's the path that I followed with every single client, because that's what I knew. It was my path. You know, despite everything that I went and I studied professionally in the life coaching and transformation sphere, for lack of a better word, I always went back to, you know, do you accept yourself? Do you feel you're good enough? You know, and do you do so unconditionally? And every time I saw clients make shifts in their lives, the moment they can accept themselves, the moment they can accept and see themselves as worthy. And so I wanted, you know, the intention for this book was to help as many people as I can, literally. You know, I saw the trends, I did the research, I kept all the files, I worked through all the files, and I saw, you know, session 1, session 2, session 3, same kind of trends, you know, with some specificity here and there that is specific to the person, but in the end, it boils down to the exact same thing. We don't think that we're worthy. And when you don't think that you're worthy, then when you don't believe, rephrase, that you're worthy, because we believe at a subconscious level, then you cannot heal yourself. Nothing can change. You know, Thoreau spoke back in the day, and he wrote in his book Walden, and he said, you will cross an invisible boundary, and that's the invisible boundary that I realized that so many people are fighting against, and they give up on their lives. Some people, you know, give up on the physical living sphere and commit suicide because they can't handle it anymore. They're overwhelmed. And so my wish was for this book to just fill this planet, to just go all over the globe and to help people to heal themselves. And when I reflected on a title, I thought, you know, who was in my way? Me. And it was hell. It was no paradise at all. I didn't love my life. I didn't love myself. I couldn't be the best version of myself. You know, even if I tried with a little bit that I had inside me. And so I realized, you know, get the hell out of your own way, Jan. You are in your own way. In a big way with what you believe, because the Bible says, as a man believeth, he is so easy. And that scripture holds so much truth for me, because the moment you can shift the belief system, the moment the light bulb, that ding, ding, ding moment comes, the light bulb goes on in your life, there's light in the darkness, you know, and you start to view life differently, and you have a different perspective. And your old perspective is just a program perspective, which when you understand where it comes from, you will conquer it. You will not just settle for mediocre living.
So you spoke about healing. You spoke about get the hell out of your own way. What would you say is the core message in the book?
The core message, there's a thread of messages, you know, that people must please know that if I can do it, anyone can. There's no favorites in a perfect universe. So the life you live is sacred. Your breath is sacred and holy. You're being breathed. You cannot take one breath on your own. Otherwise, why would COVID scare anyone? You know, mankind cannot recreate breath. You are life force in this body. And so there's so many messages, but throughout I think the signature message throughout the book is think what you're thinking about. Don't accept what you see as your truth. Don't give up on yourself. Do the work, because the more you vibrate and you're in vibrational alignment with source energy, with God, call it whatever you want to, which is unconditional love, the more you return yourself to love, to power, to creation of anything you can put your mind on. We're not stuck. We are not stuck. And if people can just get that, you know, you're not stuck. You never will be. But if you believe that you're stuck, you are. That's how it is. Henry Ford said that to his engineers. He said, if you think you can and if you think you can't, you're right. You know, and the seemingly impossible is what we want to conquer here.
Awesome. So how many chapters are there in the book?
The book has got 15 chapters and 3 parts. And so what I've done was I went raw and deep. If you hear what is on the back, if you read what's on the back page, it's really raw and deep, because I want it to be relatable, because that's the story, the power of the story and the power of love is what swings the human mind into, you know, pure positive potential. You know, if this person can do it, why can't I? So I took it into 3 parts, and the first part is 2 chapters. The first part is called How We End Up in Our Own Way. And then that chapter I open, you know, with the first chapter is called The Living Dead, which is about zombiehood. And I open that chapter with a quote from Benjamin Franklin that says, most people die at 25, but they are not buried until they're 75. And that's where I came from. So and then the second chapter in that first part is accept that you don't know what you don't know. Because that's the first thing that Jan had to do for Jan, was to realize how you first off are in your own ways by believing you've tried it all. Look, I've been on every couch. I tried to commit suicide twice. Everyone knows me. There's not a pastor or a dominie or, some priest that did not try to get the devils out of me. And the devil was in my thinking. It was in what I believed about Jan, about his potential, about can he be loved, can he even love himself? And so I thought that was the end of the road. And literally, my personal coaching and healing journey started 3 days, literally 3 days after returning from an event that preceded another suicide attempt. 2 of my friends took me away to this event, and I participated, but I didn't feel much. And that Sunday, I picked up this beautiful heart-shaped rock, and out of nowhere in nature, on a little hill in my quietness, and it was a heart shape, and I looked at it, and I thought, oh, God does exist. There's a message for me, and I held on to that rock, and that was the swing in my life. So that's chapter one for you. And then chapter 2, accept that you don't know what you don't know. And then the second part is called Cutting the Key to Freedom. Because in my own coaching journey, I realized that it was my own unworthiness, that was the sleeping pill. So I titled that chapter, Unworthiness is Nothing But a Sleeping Pill. It keeps you awake, but yet you're asleep. You're alive, but you don't live. You live the same year over and over and over, and you call that
Yes.
alive. Not alive, So that's chapter 3. Chapter 4, I go into the thoughts, the power of thought, that for every dress rehearsal, I call it, there will be a show. So we need to be conscious about what we're thinking. If we don't think what we're thinking about, we're creating from that perspective, because thought that's rehearsed becomes beliefs, and that beliefs plays out in our physical reality. That's the law of transmutation right there. And then I went into forgiveness, because it's a difficult thing for people to do. They don't understand it. They get stuck there. And so that chapter 5, I called It Is Finished, Your Power Words. And I used the words of Jesus, which was Tetelestai. And he said, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. And he prayed that blanket, because at the end of the day, it was his own people killing him. It was not the enemy. It was his own people. It was not the opposing energy. So, and that's what we do. We need to learn to keep that vibration open, because I cannot let heaven come to earth. I cannot live a full life if I stand in bitterness all the time. So I help people understanding what forgiveness really is, what it means, how to do it in an effective way, because I'm aware of people that say, I'm not going to forgive. I just can't forgive this thing, and I'm too hurt. And people think they forgive the person's actions. No, they don't. They're not saying to the person, you can come and do that to me or anyone else again. That's not what forgiveness is all about.
Wow, that's awesome.
Block in me, because I cannot live in my fullness. I cannot receive the downloads or the miracles that's out there for me if I cannot, because the block in me, I drink the poison expecting another person to die. It's never going to happen that way.
Yes.
Yeah. The late Wayne Dyer said it so beautifully. He says, it's not the snake bite that kills you, it's the poison in your veins. So you resent the snake, but you need to get rid of that poison, and it's all in the book. It's beautiful.
Wow. You also mentioned tips and tools in your subtitle.
Yes.
So why did you actually create that?
Yes, I wanted people to have a means to start maneuvering, and not read it, but study the book, and then have a tool to actually, do practically and bring into their lives and get themselves, unstuck on the spot where they read the book. So at the end of the chapters in part 2 and part 3, there's a little box where there's a summary, and that's and below the summary, there's your tool that you're going to use, and it describes to you step by step what to do, how to do it, to maneuver that part. So if you're in forgiveness, it says to you, this is how you need to forgive. So do this, do that, do that. And what people don't know, and I'm happy to announce it here, is that I'm in the process with my publisher to develop a companion piece, on Get the Hell Out of Your Own Way. That's a workbook that will be, making it even more practical, and that will be available from 10 December on Amazon also. So
well done. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, Jan, your life purpose, do you think it's aligned with the book? Is that what you actually focused on in the book itself?
It's who I am, yes. It's all in the book, This book is my life purpose. It's what I'm doing every single day, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's, corporate, it's all in there.
Okay, so it's me, of your book, I read through the book. There's obviously apt messaging in there. How do you think it's going to help me as an individual?
You're going to raise your awareness, Shamila. You're going to get to a place where you have that, I call it the ding, ding, ding moment, that when the light bulb switch on. And the first thing that you're going to realize that you are not alone. You are not alone. There's 8 billion people in this world that struggles in some form or some way, and so it's going to help you if you do the tools and if you're consistently doing it, that I provide in the book, and you really study, because study brings us understanding. Just reading the book and closing it is going to be ignorance, because it's in your memory faculty. You're not going to remember everything. For the long run, you will remember eventually that you read the book and a line here and there. But if you study it, you raise your own awareness, because that is understanding drops from the conscious into the subconscious, and it changes your life. Literally, that is what it's going to do for you. It's going to help you to maneuver yourself out of the muck and the mire of your life, or change a certain area or a relationship or something that you struggle with, even if it's with yourself. You're going to help yourself to love yourself for who you really are and live in your fullness and your truth and authenticity,
Wonderful. Is your book available on Amazon?
Yes, it is available on Amazon in paperback, also on in Kindle, and locally in Namibia, obviously, I distribute it wherever I can. So yes, but the viewers can watch, can order it from there. There will be a very, very special marketing moment on the 10th of December on the Kindle copy specifically. I'm letting the rat out of the hat, so to speak, with a secret that I'm working on. I'm working on a bestseller campaign, because that'll look good on my resume, but it's also going to help more people to get this book and to get into this energy. So that happens on the 10th, and it'll go for a very special price. People need to follow me. They need to follow me on Instagram. They need to follow me on Facebook, and because I don't have everyone's email addresses, but I'll start very, very soon to raise that energy there and the excitement there, because this makes the perfect gift. The Christmas gift to yourself is a sacred gift. It's a beautiful book to read. Even if I have to say so myself, and I know I'm biased, but if you look at the endorsements in this book, it's endorsed by beautiful people, that I have a whole lot of respect for, and they love it and they recommend it highly.
Wonderful. Well, I'm a Kindle person, so definitely I'm going to get a copy of your book. I've got all my books here. I love that. It's my midnight reading, so definitely I'm going to get a copy. I'm going to wait for the special announcement.
Thank you. Yes, you're going to love it. It's almost awesome. A giveaway. It's really, I make it so affordable and so accessible to every single one. And you don't need to have Amazon, a Kindle to read it on. You can read it on your phone, smartphone, on a tablet, on your computer. It's beautiful.
Yes, I actually read everything on my iPad.
Yeah, you like me. Yeah. I do a lot of reading on my iPad. But this book, I have to say, because it was a download, I sometimes have to go to, a client will message me, what you said on page 48 just hit me hard. And then I need to go to page 48 and see, what did I write there? It's beautiful.
That is so amazing. That is so amazing. And, I can see you saying it with such passion as well. And I can see what you put into the book, and I'm dying to read it. Besides that, Jan, what are your other passions?
I am at the moment, helping people to write books. I've just, and chapter 10, I must tell you this story. It's a beautiful testimony. Chapter 10 is dedicated to a friend of mine. She was 82 at the time. She's called Jean Scott. And Jean, I hope if you watch this, you receive this blessing also tonight. And this chapter is called, You Are as Old as You'll Never Be. Jean inspired me to no end. She's one of those people that just refuses to grow old. She's an 82-year-old in an 82-year-old body, recently 83. And just last night, she wrote a book, and I helped her to get the book out of her. And just last night, I had a meeting with a publishing company that approved her book.
Wow.
And that's willing to publish it for her at the age of 83. You see, we have no idea who we are unless we go out there and change our thinking. And Jean, literally, congratulations to you when you watch this. I'm so thrilled and so proud of you for setting the tone, setting a completely new standard for mankind out there. And, again, we don't have to wait for death. We don't have to live old age in a certain way, in a programmed way. We can live it literally conscious and create and leave a legacy. And this is what Jean does. And quote unquote from the publisher, she says to me last night, Jan, I'm in love with chapter 8 of Jean's book. So I cannot wait for that book. And so I'm passionate about helping people to get their stories out of them. I'm helping corporates to transform their results because, I help them to manifest, greater results. I'm currently busy with quite a few corporates at the moment through a program that I wrote myself with elements of different coaches and experiences. And again, many of them in the book, which is called I Prosper. And that course is just, it just opens your mind to different thinking. And you start to conquer your dreams and to say, look, I'm going to go back to pursuing that dream that I gave up on. I want to achieve this thing. And I see amazing results from the people that take this course. It's just amazing.
Well, I can see you have quite good connections as well. I want to say, John, congratulations on your book as well. Well done. If you can do it at that age, anybody, you setting the tone very high. Jan, we were connected via Dawn. Do you maybe want to say something special to Dawn? Because she's so special to me as well.
Dawn, Dawn is my soulmate on so many levels, really. We connected around the coffee table in LA, and she's one of those people that you cannot help to fall in love with like instantly. And her heart is gold. What she does, through the Desire to Inspire Foundation for Africa, children in Africa, I serve on that board. It's amazing. It's amazing. And my dear friend Dawn is just such an inspiration to me. Sometimes I will voice her on WhatsApp, or I'll give her a call and say, I just need to hear your voice. Because when she speaks to you, she's just a bubbly soul.
Yes.
And I won't go any further. We share a lot of jokes, a lot of good times, but most of all, her heart is pure gold, and I love what she's doing, and I encourage people to support that foundation. It's got a, every tenth of this book and the previous book that I co-authored, that Dawn is the actual author of, she and Deborah Louise Brown, authors of, I co-authored a chapter there, and also the workbook that I'm bringing out. Every single 10% that I make on every book goes to that foundation.
That is amazing. Wow. Well done.
Myself. And I just give it because I want for them to have a different life. And here's the thing about Dawn Whitty we need to understand. She does not just give you fish. She helps those economies to actually learn to create their own businesses. In other words, she teaches the people in those countries to fish. And I love that. She takes their skills. She helps them to establish themselves as entrepreneurs. And then, you know, and that's why I comfortably serve on that board, because it's beautiful what she does and what it does to the economy and to the greater whole. She's such an inspiration. Thank you, Dawn. I love you.
That's amazing. And you know, I think we're all going to meet in Uganda this year, next year, 2021.
So, I heard that story.
Yes, so definitely we're going to make a plan and we're going to meet in Uganda, because I also want to really get involved there as well, and get involved in the initiatives that you guys are doing. So yes, count me in for sure. So nice chatting to you. What would be your core message to the listeners today?
My core message would be, you cannot outperform your self-esteem. You cannot. It's impossible. And your self-esteem is not in your six-pack. It's not in the size of your dress. It's not in the color of your hair, whether you have hair or not. It's not in that. Your self-esteem is in how you show up for yourself. You cannot outperform that, but you can change that. You can improve that. And as you increase your self-esteem, your results will also follow in line with that increase. It's a parallel. You cannot go and change form and desire to achieve great things, but you can do great things if you start to improve your self-esteem, your worthiness for whatever it is, whether it's for money, for success, for love, for abundance, for health, for well-being. I don't care. God made you in that image, not man's image. Okay? You are of God. You're not from God. You're not, and therefore you have this beautiful capacity to increase your self-esteem, to love yourself more. And as you learn to love yourself more, you will phone me and you will tell me, as my self-esteem improves, my results started to show up as I create phenomenal results, because that is the core of everything in this life. Nobody wants to be with a person that they don't fully love and embrace. And if we don't do that with us, and we do it behind the mask of ego, we are going to get the hell into our own way. And listen, people don't need to make my mistakes. They don't. I've made it for us all. Here's the book. Get the book, read it, do the work, and get yourself unstuck. It's that simple. If I can do it, anyone can.
Yes, you're such an inspiration and such a great message to end the chat. It was awesome chatting to you, Jan Grobler from Namibia. But before you go, how can one get hold of you?
Shamila, I am so grateful for this chat. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for making the time for me. I really embrace every single opportunity. Thank you for that. Thank you for you and for the work that you do. I honor you for that. I really do.
Thank you.
The listeners or the viewers can get can reach me on email, on my website. My website obviously is limit-lesslife.com. My email address is jan@limit-lesslife.com. They can reach me on Facebook, they can reach me on Instagram, they can just reach me through the Facebook page of Get the Hell Out of Your Own Way. It's got its own page. They can type that in, search for it, like it, and reach me through that, send me a message. I try to be very, very accessible. I don't want to lose this personal connection that I can have for the people that I love so dearly. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on board and chatting to me. And thanks to Dawn for introducing us and connecting the dots. I really appreciate that as well. And yes, I can see lots of collaboration, and I can see us working together and moving ahead and just making a difference in people's lives. That's what we're here for.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We're here to serve and bring significance. Thank you so much, Shamila. Thank you, Dawn, for the connection. I really, really, really appreciate you both.
Thank you, Jan, and all the best. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.